Testimony on DNA analysis and a search for an SUV highlighted the third day of a murder trial in Minot. Kamauri Kennedy is charged in the 2021 death of Domon Kelly. Kelly's remains were found in a burned sedan on a rural road in southeast Minot. Now, during the investigation, DNA samples from various objects, including the lid of a gas can, were sent to the state crime lab, along with samples from Kelly, Kennedy, and others. A forensic scientist testified to their analysis of DNA taken from the gas can lid and the sample from Kennedy.
The frequency of selecting an unrelated individual at random from the population that would match the profile from the lid swab is estimated to be approximately 1 in 64.16 quintillion.
Kennedy's defense attorney pointed out that there's no telling when the DNA sample was left on the lid. A former Minot police investigator testified about the discovery of a heavily damaged GMC Yukon in a wooded area near Mandaree about a week after Kelly's death. An acquaintance of Kennedy's testified that she often loaned him the SUV, and he made a surprising request.
Basically that something happened and to get rid of the vehicle.
To get rid of the Yukon?
Yep.
Okay, did he specifically tell you how to get rid of it?
To burn it.
What was going through your mind when he told you to burn the Yukon?
I thought it was a pretty out there request for my family's vehicle to get burned up.
Now, Mason said she didn't burn the vehicle but hid it near Mandaree. Testimony will resume Monday morning. The state may rest its case late Monday or early Tuesday. The defense has said it would not call rebuttal witnesses, but it's unclear whether Kennedy will testify in his own defense. He faces the chance of life in prison without parole if he's convicted.